Welcome everyone to the Overthinking Football Show live evening show. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, but also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you do miss any of the shows, be sure to catch it, to catch the previous episodes on YouTube and on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm driving everybody to Facebook because that's where I'm monetized best. So please help me out by supporting there. If you are on Facebook and you haven't seen me post in a bit, it's because I've been suspended until Wednesday. So we'll be able to post on Wednesday after the Chiefs match. So yeah, join me over there. Please support the channel, the account. Please follow me if you haven't followed, and also just watch some of the videos. Give me some likes. There's a Shield video I have up. Please help me. Why the suspension? Every time I do a World Cup match, Facebook suspends me. So yeah, I got suspended after during the Banyana match, but it's fine. We'll sort it out. So guys, this afternoon, Mondays are going to be for review because as we know, the season is back. The season is back. So on Mondays, we're going to speak about the matches. Earlier today at 12:30, we spoke about the Pirates and Sundowns matches. If you did miss out on that, please check it out on YouTube. Khoza says copyright, and it's not even copyright, but they won't allow me to appeal. But anyway, let's talk a bit about Kaizer Chiefs. But this is where I wanted to start. I wanted to start by us hearing from the two coaches and just listening to what they had to say about this game. So I'm going to start off by playing the words from Mr. Fantastic himself, Morgan Mamilla. Let's hear
everything that they do is out there.
Give us a summary version of what you saw happening in 90 minutes.
Yeah, guys, firstly, playing against a team of Kaizer Chiefs caliber, rich history. Everything that they do is out there. We can all see. I'm not advertising them. That's who they are. But I came here with my soldiers. I told them that Kaizer Chiefs, they've got rich history. But players-wise, we're equal. They're not better than us when it comes to players.
Join.
So we have to show Kaizer Chiefs players that they are playing for a big team, but they're not bigger than us. The plan was to dominate the game as early as a minute, up until the 90 minutes. Football is football. Sometimes you get that tiredness. Yes, of course, Kaizer Chiefs never even have one shot on target. I think if you guys can check, I think 50, 60, 70. Why? They were playing a good team.
I just want to pause it there. Let's dissect some of what he's saying. He's basically saying that, Kaizer Chiefs, great team, big team. They've done everything. They're so big in the country. But Masek Roundin, we are equal. They're not afraid. Before this match, he actually told us that we all know what Kaizer Chiefs is. We all know what they bring. We all know what to do. You frustrate them for 15 minutes and then that's all you need to do. Then if they don't get what they want in 15 minutes, you just carry on. And this is Chippa United, guys. This is the team that finished 14th last season. And they're coming into this match versus Kaizer Chiefs and they're going, you know what, guys? Laba. Laba's ngabatata. Laba. They're not anything special. So I want us to speak about that. 14th in the league. Called it a good team. So let's carry on hearing what he says.
Organized team. We created so many chances. So many chances. We should have buried. But I'll take a point away from home. And this is a team that when you get 3 points, is the sweetest team. There's no other team that is sweetest than this one.
Sweetest.
So I'll take a point home. Then I'll focus on the next match. It's done, this one. I'm happy with the point. But credit to my players, they gave it all. They've shown that they are wearing a Chippa badge with pride. Tactically, they were very good. It's just, when at the beginning of the season you'll see those small mistakes, passes. It happens. It happens to any team. But overall, I'm happy with the point.
Coach Mamilla, thank you very much for the interest. Members of the media, it's your turn.
Okay, then I want us to just listen to the words and hear the words. Then I want us to go into our coach. This is now Molefintseki. Let's hear what he has to say.
We joined by Coach Molefintseki, coach of the home team, Kaizer Chiefs. Coach, you hosted Chippa United in your first game as head coach of Kaizer Chiefs, the first game of the season. Your impression of the game in 90 minutes, just a summary version.
Thanks very much, and is it good afternoon, good evening, members of the media. I think when we look at the different phases of the game, I think we still have got a lot of work to work on. How we shape out of possession, what are the movements in the last set when we are in possession, how do we work on our set plays. So all the questions that we came across this afternoon, we have noted, and then we'll be working and improving on that. But I think we did very well in certain moments of the game, especially when we were making midfield rotation, in creating those pockets for us to play forward and to make those forward runs. But I think we lacked more of penetration, especially in the last set, and we did not take much off shots at goals, just to call for the keeper and the defenders to make saves. I think in terms of possession, we had a fairly good possession of the game, but possession doesn't win you games. What you wanted to see happening was us getting into the last set and then threatening the goals. When it comes to set plays, I think we had a few number of set plays, and I think if you can't win the game in an open time, you need to make use of the set plays and convert those set plays. Defensively on the side of the set plays, I think we did very well. When we were dealing with the wide set plays, when we were dealing with the corner kicks. So somehow, in terms of our assessment of the performance of the team, we are happy, even though in football we are not happy because we did not win the game that we wanted to win. And we prepared to win this game, but that's football for you. It is one of those games where you don't score, but the good thing about it is that we did not concede.
Thank you very much, Coach. As we move over to members of the media, your question and as well as your name. And
So I just wanted to hear. I just wanted you guys to hear that little exchange. The two coaches, how they came into this game, what they expected, and what they thought was going to be done in this match. So I'm going to go into our chat now. Let me just get the media right. Okay, there we go. I'm going to go into our chat. So let's talk a little bit about this match before, and I'm going to ask you guys to just give me a little bit of time here. Because I want to, man. Don't want to say keep quiet, but I want to speak a little bit. So how this game, how the lineups came was on Chippa's side, the away team, Nobile in goal, Shabalala, Mtunyelwa, and Zabo and Peterson as the defense, Mosile Molenga, Gongobe, Ndwandwe Lutuli, and Libito were the team for Chippa United. For Kaizer Chiefs, we chose to start with Peterson in goal, Msimango and Ditlokwe as the centre-back pairing, Hlanti and Frosler as the left and right backs, Castillo and Mart in the middle, and then the three behind the striker was Shabalala, Nkosingphile Ngobo, and then also Saile, and then up front Ranga Chivavairo. This is what happened. This was the team that was there. In terms of stats, this game ended 0-0. Shots, we had 10 shots. Chippa had 11 shots. They had 4 shots on target and we had 3. In terms of possession, we had 53% possession and they had 47%. So let's get into this. We chose to play in a 4-2-3-1. We chose to bring in Nkosinphile Ngcobo and Shabalala behind Chivavairo. There's some issues here that I think we should start by discussing. I don't like it when my coach, after preseason and all of that stuff and telling us that they're 80% ready and all of that, comes into a match where he says that there's still a lot of things we need to work on, especially in the final third. I like it even less because he's been there 3 years, Uat has been there 3 years. You'd imagine that they'd been working with this and they shouldn't be speaking as though it's a completely new team. And they're completely new and they don't know anything. That's what scares me about this, that the fact that right now, after all of the years cumulatively that they've been there, they still don't know how to place players onto the pitch in order to go forward. We saw a lot of problems last week, a lot of problems in the weeks prior with the friendlies that we played. And the one thing that I did say during the live stream when we were doing the watch along was that surely somebody in the team has to see something. We saw Shabalala on the left. I believe it was against Irolas. We saw Guti doesn't understand that role. But we put him out there on the left. Nkosinphile Ngcobo has not played for a very long time at Kaizer Chiefs. Bit parts last season. You've just signed Mduduzi, who was starting every game for Cape Town City. So why play Nkosinphile at number 10 when we know what he is and we know what he brings? We still have an issue at Kaizer Chiefs that we play opposite of what the players on the pitch are. If I told you that in the starting lineup for a Kaizer Chiefs match, you're going to have Mart, Shabalala, Ngcobo, and Castillo. I'm going to count Castillo because we saw a little bit of him, but Mart, Shabalala, Ngcobo. What does that mean you're going to do? You're probably going to come out and play the ball, knock the ball around, combination play, have Abo Shabalala closer to each other so that they can play the ball. We started crossing. Klanti got some crosses, Frostler got some crosses. There was so little play in the middle that players needed to drop back. I saw Mdu dropping back all the way to the halfway line to receive a ball, and he's meant to be on the left wing or the left side of the midfield, dropping all the way back. We saw Mart running like a headless chicken to the center, to running almost to try to be a right mid when he's playing from 6, because they're not playing the ball. But lo and behold, just imagine, when Potsani gets onto the pitch, we made changes where we brought in Upotsani and we brought in Tupriya. So when you see those changes and you still have Saile on the pitch, what are you expecting is going to happen? Tupriya is fast, Saile is fast. You can even maybe say that Upotsani is also very fast. So what do you think is going to happen? We're going to play wing play, balls over the top, balls in behind, crosses. What do we start doing? We put the ball on the floor and start playing. Now, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know if I'm watching a different game. But it seems as though we're repeating the same problems that we had last year. The same problem that we had last year with Atazwan. Where the team and the tactics for the team that's on the pitch doesn't match the personnel that's on the pitch. Not to mention the fact that we're striking with Chivavairo, who didn't play preseason, who couldn't play preseason, he was injured. So clearly now, when he comes inside, he didn't have much to do the whole game long. We've spoken about Saile. I don't know what Saile gave us as a team last season and as a team in the past few games. I don't know what he's given us. But yet he's a starter. Nothing in Kaizer Chiefs went. You know what, guys? You've got a winger, a guy who is a winger by trade. Potan played in the preseason games, but he's sitting on the bench. You want to play wing play with Sahil, who we all know. Anybody who's watched Kaizer Chiefs, anybody who's followed the team. Sahil gets the ball. He can run very fast. He's very committed. But he doesn't have a final ball. He doesn't have a final move. Always trips and falls right when he needs to do what he needs to do. So then we start him ahead of Potsane, who was a very good player at Royal AM last season. So Mdu is out of position. Potsane is on the bench. Sahil is out of position because I believe he was signed as a striker. But anyway, he's out of position on the side. And he's selfish. Yes, that's true. He's also selfish. You've got the midfield that is meant to be ball playing. But now what we saw, remember again, what we saw when we were playing those friendlies. When we played in Tanzania, we saw Mdantsane. There was a point where Mdantsane, I believe it was, played in the center. Didn't know what to do because the ball wasn't coming to him. But you know what? Let me give them some credit. See at the back, I like the back. I think Castillo is an amazing central defensive player who can protect the midfield. I think Umsimang and Ditokwe, there was a couple of times that Chippa United tried to play it over them. But they were very good, managed that back so well. I'd say Santi, let's add them. Santi and Frostler played an okay game. So at the back, it seems we're okay. But the issue is going forward. How many shots did we get in our... how many shots did we get in our friendlies? I don't know how many people can... How many shots did we get in our friendlies? And even now, we still haven't gotten any shots proper. I think we got, 3 on target. We even count them, but in any case, fine. 3 on target. Do we know what we're doing when we're going forward? Guys, can you please tell me what our scoring tactic as Kaizer Chiefs is? Our scoring tactic. When we want to go get a goal, tell me the move that Chiefs does that gets us to the front. Because I'm seeing a lot of players, Ebamnandi, man. They turn, they do stuff like... There's no one putting balls in through to Chivavairo. And I think what's going to kill us as Kaizer Chiefs is still not knowing what we want to do. Half helicopter, half ball on the ground. Then we mix up the players. But in any case, we're half and half. We know what Frostler does. Frostler crosses. So that's why I'm saying that it feels as though I don't know what's happening at Kaizer Chiefs, guys. I don't know. I think for me, I was hard on Arthur last season because Arthur has had a front row seat to every single Chiefs team for the past, 4 years, maybe, let's say 4 years as an assistant. I'd imagine that in that time, you're thinking of ways to do something. Then he gets his Yebam Chincha Bafagunseki is the same person who was sitting upstairs. Later on in this press conference, he goes on to say, we did a team audit. And we did a team audit and we did a scout and we went and found players. So we can't say that he's not part of this and he must be given time and all of that. He's been part of this team. But here we stand. Poor preseason. Poor play in the preseason. And now, first game in. It's tough. And he's still coming out to tell us. That no, we still have a lot to work on. When it comes to this play, we had possession, but what's the point of it? Now I just heard a lot of English. A lot of Sehoana coming out of him. But I don't want to hear people talking. I want to see it on the pitch. If we can see it, guys, we spoke about this during last season and during the watch along. We spoke about this. It's the same things that we're doing, that Arthur was doing, that are carrying on now. So are you telling me that there's no one at Kaizer Chiefs analysts, coach, assistant coach, I don't know, kit manager, who are not seeing the things that we are seeing on the pitch. If Morgan Mamilla, CEO, you are CEO of Chippa at some point, if Morgan Mamilla can tell you exactly how to break down Chiefs, at least he's a coach. If we can tell you exactly how to break down Chiefs or what we're doing wrong, why is nothing changing? And are we just going to keep cycling players and cycling players and cycling players, saying that, we're trying to get better? For example, there's news right now, there's a rumor right now that we've signed a striker from Colombia. Is it Colombia? We've signed a striker from South America. Man has something like 8 goals and an assist in 20 appearances for his club. But is he going to arrive and change anything at Kaizer Chiefs? Are they going to arrive and actually help him out? Or are we just going to go, Pimenyimana? No. Saile? No. Chivavairo? No. Now a new striker's coming in. What's the point of these signings? You've got wingers on wingers on wingers, but they're on the bench. You signed an exciting number 10 from Cape Town City. You're not giving him he doesn't play in these games. You choose rather to have Mdu be lost on the pitch and then Nkosing Pile just... What was he doing, man? What was he doing? So I'm not happy. But I will say, I'll give them leeway and say, you know what, guys? First 3 games, let's hope that it's rust. First 3 games. We said the same thing about Sundowns. We said the same thing about Pirates. That, you know what, guys, it's a three game curve. But I'm worried. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm worried. Then to make it worse, last season, what did we complain about Atazwane as well? Game management. We saw Boma 5 red cards, 6 red cards. 5, 6 red cards. No changes, no nothing. Yesterday, we saw Chippa attacking us and putting us on the back foot. And the first change, let me see. The first change that we made was 60th minute, Mduduzi Shabalala out for Dupree, and then only again in the 71st and 72nd minute. How are we going to win games? How are we going to win games? We played in the preseason, and I was like, you know what, guys? Maybe they're working on something. Maybe, he was just trying to figure out what he wanted to do. But it's very worrying that even still today, we don't know what we want to do. The other teams have some sort of identity. If you listen to the press conference here, Steve Barker speaking about Pirates, he said they watched them in preseason and they planned to play them because they saw those preseason games. So there's a style that you're going for. What is Chiefs going for? Outside of the defense, what do we have, guys? What are we getting, guys? What are we getting back from this team? We're going in 9th year trophyless. This would be our 9th year of trophyless play. Do you see any urgency? Do you see anybody running to try win the league? I just hear them talking. No, last season we gave a young coach a chance. This season, they're going to grow and there's youngsters we brought in. Then you change the plan in the beginning and you tell us that, no, that was the plan all along. And you tell us that we understand Kaizer Chiefs fans have been speaking and we understand the pain. Can they please give us a little bit of time? Can they please, we want to do well in the leagues and whatever. Is this a team that's showing you anything? The fact that Chippa United, a coach at Chippa United, as confident as Morgan Mamilla is, he can come out and be, disrespectful. Can come out and tell you, not even disrespectful, he's right. Come out and tell us exactly what he's going to do and do it. So for me, going forward, let's get a style of play. If you're going to bring out Shabalala, play the ball on the ground. If you're going to play the helicopter, take out over Shabalala and play the helicopter. Like, let's just at least show conviction of what we want to do, because for me, I don't see it. I don't see anything, guys. I watched this match, like, Agent 007, I think he's on here. We watched this match. He literally said, guys, I was bored. I was sleeping. First time he fell asleep in a while. This is what we're getting. And do you know what's the worst part? I think the worst part is not only does our team not show remorse or not show that they want to do something, right? The craziest thing is they hosted a home match in Moses Mabhida for a reason. The day before, they were doing activations at Studio 88 at some shopping center or mall or something. Hey, man, we were seeing pictures. They were all smiling and what. All of that. That's marketing gumnandi. I saw players laughing after the match yesterday. They were busy laughing, shaking hands with the Chippa guys, doing all that stuff. So the machine is still going. The marketing machine is still going. But on the pitch, what do we see? Like, who's saying here? We see that we are building. We are building. Eh? We have those trophies. What about trophies, guys? Our trophies are we signed the biggest deal. Oh, it's going to redefine sports. Kappa's going to give us a percentage of the sales, and they've given us the biggest deal that we can get. It's a trophy. Oh, and we get to play with our own ball. The Kappa ball. No other team plays their home games with the Kappa ball. Somebody saying, I think so what about this new striker from Colombia? What's he going to do? Guys, Chivavairo is the new striker. Chivavairo is the new striker, guys. Are we signing this guy to actually play? Or are we signing this guy to go? Yazin, Sundowns is not the only team that goes into South America. Why are we signing him? If we sign Chivavairo, we signed Saile as the striker. We signed Mosimane the season before that. So what's the point of these things if not to just look like they're busy? I've told you guys many times, for me, you don't have to tell me that Sundowns is a team that's going for everything. You don't have to tell me that Pirates may be trying to do something. You don't have to tell me that SuperSport United has some ambition to try and maybe do something as best as they can under Gavin. But with us, it's here. Every day here. Every day they're telling us, every day they're selling us the thing. They're selling us a dream about, no, we want to do this. We wouldn't have to say anything. Don't we need a creative player in that 10 position? But we've got creative players, though. We've got creative players. Mduduzi meant to be a creative player, meant to be the future of the club. Uzwane was meant to be a good 8, for example. Tanzani was brought in as a 10. So how many players are we going to say, yeah, creativity, when they're there? You know what's going to happen? Dolly's going to come back from injury. He's meant to be creative too. How many times are we going to say this one and that player and this one and this one? Guys, everything is there. Shatangani, coaching and ambition. Every season we sign players, we bring in players, we bring in this. Every season, rachincha. We're about to do again. Last season we signed 2 strikers, remember, Mosimane and Saile. This season we signed Chivavairo and we're signing this Colombian gent. There's 2 strikers. Are we going to sign 2 strikers next season as well and the season after that? Sehoana, sitting on the bench as a winger. Okay, fine. We've cycled him out. Who are we going to bring in? Okay, we're bringing Potsane and Modi. We're going to cycle them out tomorrow. Like, can we have the honest conversation about Kaizer Chiefs, guys? The honest conversation. At this point, it's not the players. At this point, even the coaches, I can't blame Molefinseki. I can't blame Atazwane for being given the contract. They were given the contract and they said, guys, here you go. Now contract. I'd also sign it. If Chiefs came to me tomorrow and they said, guys, we're going to pay you 500,000 rand every month, come coach Chiefs, I'll sign it. But now we have to question up top. What has changed, guys? What has changed from last season to this season? Same technical team, same people in charge. We've made some signings, but now what happens? No, guys, I'm just at that point where it's like, I feel as though we care more about Kaizer Chiefs than Kaizer Chiefs cares about us. And the sad part is that we'll buy the kits and we'll do all this stuff. We'll buy the kits. Hey, Sawatenga Makit. Hey, stadium, Satwali Stadium. Did you see the Chiefs fans yesterday? Going on to Motsepe, they were leaving in droves. They were angry. And I saw a comment earlier where somebody was saying that the mistake Kaizer Chiefs coaches make is that they think they have time. I'd expect that from somebody coming from outside. I'd expect Gavin to think to himself, you know what, guys, maybe I'll be able to build a team. But Arthur's seen everything. As a player and as a coach, you don't have time. I'm tired of building. The striker's name is a Colombian striker called Enfama Jasont Gonzalez from Real Santa Cruz. He's 24 and he's joining on a season-long loan with the option to make the deal permanent. The total package could reach up to $230,000 or 4.3 million rand. That's the new guy that allegedly we've signed. And one last thing before I open the lines. Let's be honest with ourselves. It's not about money. It's no longer about money. We pay very high signing fees, very high salaries. We're about to pay close to 4.3 million for this Colombian gent. I don't know how much Castillo cost or all those guys. It's not about money. I hear people saying, hey, competing. Supersport doesn't spend like we do. Few teams spend like we do. But there's a difference between getting, I don't know, Mdantsane, and who's a very good player, but older, and going and getting a Kapinga. I was crying about Pirates signings now. So let's be honest, guys. Please, let's be honest. I don't know when he's going to arrive, guys. I don't know when he's going to arrive. Mara, this is not it. I'd rather not hear from them. I'd rather they not say anything to us than to keep coming out and promising us that they're going to get better and going to get better and going to do better and we're going to win this trophy and we're going to perform better and these players will be better. But we're not seeing it. We're not seeing it. I'm going to open up the lines, guys. Please, you have to be following me in order to jump on. We're going to have a chat about this Chiefs team. Tito, thank you for the footballs. Pumi, thank you so much for the gifts. Let me open the multi-guest so that I can allow people on and we can speak a little bit about this game and the state of our team. I'll read some of the comments as we're going along. We need good wingers, bro, to put those balls inside the box. Saile Nkomo, his final touches, Zapeta. We have a beautiful ball from Kappa, though. A beautiful ball from Kappa, though. That's our trophy. I'm telling you guys, that is our trophy. That is what we win. When other children are hosting up the title, Rona, we're sitting there, our marketing goals. Yeah, that's what we've been working on. Agent 007, welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, man, where's the lady of the house to give you a tissue there, man? Hi, man.
Hi, man. I'm even past the point of tissues, man. I'm just, when you're so angry, you're done even crying. You're just like, hi, guys. I am over this now.
Yeah, I think, like I said yesterday, I thought there was nothing to analyze on the Chiefs game, I think, excuse me, I just want to talk a few things, I think it's more than on the pitch, I think we need to start looking at things from from a different perspective. Can't always look at the pitch. I think there's a lot of things that we need to look at. Let's start with the technical team,
Okay.
right? Sundowns, obviously, I'll start with my team because I know it better. It has 24 technical team members, 24. And out of those 24, we have like 4 performance analysts. Pirates, from what I've seen on that page, they have like 14 technical team members. And Chiefs has listed 7, if I'm not mistaken. And you look at there's someone called Muzi Malulek,
fitness,
strengthening and conditioning coach. At Sundowns, that's done by 4 people. So that is the small things which matter. If you can't do the small things right, it affects the overall picture. And even if we zoom out of a bloated Sundowns technical team, we look at the coach, the assistant coach, and other coaches. Look, Motaung has a A license, so as I think Zwane has it, or is it a B? But I know Zwane has a UEFA license. Yeah, I know he has a UEFA B license, and Chippa has a C license and CAF and a B in UEFA. And at Sundowns, you have a coach Kulani, he has a pro license, a coach Mangoba, Coach Wendell has a UEFA A license. You can talk of the guy from Pirates, Rothman, has a UEFA A license. Like, you can see that these are football people, and you take at the Pirates. Remember, the Pirates coach brought in 2 of his assistants. On top of that, you have a Mandla Nkagasi. So you can see when we put 2 people on the same field, it totally outweighs the technical team of Chiefs. And Chiefs is the biggest brand in South Africa. They're supposed to be the benchmarkers. So some of the things.
Surely, I think here's my issue. Surely, and it's the conversation we have every day, almost weekly on this show. You have people that do this every single day. So you're telling me in the 3 years that Umilifenteki, regardless of his qualification, for 3 years, Atazwani, regardless of his qualification, for 3 years, Dylan Shepherd, regardless of qualification, they can't look at this team and see the obvious holes. I mean, half the people that are on these comments right now know all of the holes. We know everything that's wrong with Kaizer Chiefs. So then why not this technical team? Why are they not also saying, hi guys, it was cute when we were losing and all that stuff. Maybe we need to start winning and maybe we need to start closing these things. But again, we sign and sign, but yeah.
It goes back to what I wanted, to the point that I wanted to make with the technical team. They can see what is wrong. Everyone can see the problems, but how do you solve it? That's why Chiefs has employed a trial and error thing. Let's try this. Let's try, like we're seeing Banyana. It doesn't work. Let's try Sahil. It doesn't work. Now let's try Gonzalez. It won't work. Let's try another one. It won't work. You have tried a Castro. Remember, there's a Castro there. So it's trial and error. Look at the goalkeeping department. Ever since I don't know how to put it, but Khanye passed his peak, you don't have a consistent a keeper. It's trial and error. Look at the defense. Hopefully, with the token Simangu, it will be stable. But also, it has been trial and error. Look at the midfield, trial and error. So it comes back to the experience and the technical expertise of the coaches. Do they have the technical know-how to solve problems? Because everyone can see them. I'm sure they can see them. The analysts can see them. But when you have a squad of people who are on the same level playing field, they can't solve problems. That's the main thing that you need to worry about. And the second thing that I wanted to say before I keep quiet and wait for the second round is Chiefs is a marketing team. And I've said it's a marketing company, not a team. I've called it a marketing company. Look at what happens. There's backlash on the results and the play and the game itself. What do? They throw in a striker. just to cool things off. And Chiefs fans will go away with it, you know. And Chiefs fans are also culprits. You know, they remind me of my team, Manchester United fans. They would say they're protesting, but they'll still go to the games. They'll still buy merchandise. They'll still ululate on his side, you know. So everyone should be saying, no, why didn't you announce that player before the game, you know? Because I don't think it's a deal which happened now, you know. Why now, you know? Let's focus on the game. You know, we have Sundowns coming. You know, so Chiefs fans also need, if they love that team, they need to take a step on. So you know what, we're not buying merchandise, or we are doing something, protest something, and show. Because if the main people who earn revenue to Chiefs, besides the sponsors, is the fans. So if fans do something, it takes a knock on the marketing effect, and they'll be serious. Yeah.
Okay, let me bring you Hendrik. Hendrik, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
My brother, I'm good. Just not happy, but I'm good. Sehoana?
I want us, because I know we speak about this a lot, especially with you. Chippa, 0-0, hardly getting a shot off, hardly doing anything. We're not sure what type of play we want to play, what our patterns are, what our attacking style is. What is going on with this team? Because this is a pattern that is now maybe 3 years in, and we're seeing the same thing every single year with the same people. Right, and we're killing player after player after player. Forget about Banyana. We've seen about Castro, we've seen about Piliat, we've seen about Manyama. Jabulo Ngobo was defender of the season at some point. We've gone through these people. What's happening at your team?
My brother, you know one thing that's happening at my team there. The fact that Unebi wanted to come with his technical team and then he was rejected, it says a lot. It says that when Abu Bobi Motaung, Abu Tiga, etc., when they're standing on those VIP stands, they see nothing wrong. The fact that coach analyzed Kaizer, the fact that he said, no, in order for me to take over, I need my technical team. He wanted to implement something that will belong to me. But they said what? They said no. One thing that I tell people is that, my brother, Kaizer Chiefs want someone that they can control. And how are they going to control you? It's put these people like Abu Zwani, Abu Mulifensiki next to you. That's why they did not want that to come with this technical team. And then mind I tell you, that coach wanted to also come with a striker, reports say. He also wanted to come to Kaizer Chiefs with a striker. And Kaizer Chiefs could definitely afford that striker. You know, the one that chipped to Khanye that goal. He's a tremendous striker. I've seen him play.
No, not Mayele.
Yeah, Mayele. Yeah, I think that's it. You see, so the coach wanted to come with this technical team and also the striker, because he could see, no, Chiefs has this sort of player, so it means the striker that we want, I'm gonna want at that team that I might be going to. It's this sort of striker. He wanted to come with that striker. Unfortunately, the deal lapsed. For what reasons? We don't know, my brother. This team, they don't take it seriously. Number one, like I said, next thing you know, please guys, quote me on this. Your next coach is gonna be Dylan Shepherd. You know that. You guys don't know. But like this, your next coach will be Dylan Shepherd because they want someone that they can control. Pitso Mosimane once said it. He said that in order for me to coach those two big teams, one thing that I must tell you is, give me the equipment, give me full control, and then you can judge me based on why, what I have done, what I've accomplished with the team. So Manje, you're giving me, and then you have to tell me to do this. It's not gonna fly. You understand? So unfortunately, whether we like it or not, we have players at the moment. One thing that I can say, I love the new midfielder and also that striker, Chevavero, something like that.
Yeah,
he knows how to position himself. He knows how to position himself. I don't know why we let go of Usikhuta. Kanjan, why did we let go of Usikhuta? Let's be honest. Tell me, because we don't have options now. You let Usikhuta go. Upinat still wants to go. You are left with who? Uputsane and Dupree. Putsane and Dupree, injury. Who are you gonna fill there? Usahili, useless, running like a headless chicken. Opetang ama muscles and tools. Usahili, running. He can't even a ball in the square ball. That like Gona. He looks like Kingston Nkata from Wish from me. He doesn't. He looks like Kingston Nkata from Big a lot. He doesn't do anything. At least Nkata could miss a couple of chances and then score. Usahili runs. He can't stop with the ball. It's either like the ball is faster than him or he's faster than the ball. Next thing, he can't square in. He jumps the boards. Guys, come on.
That's why my question becomes, we know this about Usail. We saw this all
Yes.
of last season. All of last season, we saw this play, and we know what he is and what he isn't. And they sign new players. Like Upotsane is sitting on the bench, right? And we know that as a winger, he's better than Usaile. Why then do we see Upotsane in? Why do we see Umkosingphile, who's coming from injury, hasn't played now consistently for a very long time? Why do we still make those decisions?
I don't know, man, and I was surprised because Ungosimpile Ngobo was not into it. Like, he was there the entire game. And then he was on injury. We know that he was on injury. Why are you fielding him? Why are you giving him that much time? Like, my brother, I was watching that game, and then I developed pulse. Pulse once because I was not celebrating. There was not a time where I said, yo, we almost scored. It was that plain boring. You understand? Why are we fielding Ngobo? He was not the cover that we know, right? He was not the cover that we know. Dansan, why is he still on the bench up until 70 minutes or 60 minutes? Why is he still on the bench? And then people who are saying, I was watching a different game, but guys, Usaile is bad. You know, this is what happens when you don't get a decent player for a long time. Usaile is bad, guys. Usaile is faster than the ball. Sometimes the ball is faster than him. Ama crosses work. They are closer to the box when the defenders have recovered. Usaile is bad, guys. Watch. Like, let me give an example. Who can you watch who's a winger in the PSL? Like, let me think. I'm pretty much sure that we can get a winger that I can give an example to.
We have
like,
Modi,
watch.
but then he was off for the funeral. But I doubt they would have played him. It
Yes,
seems like.
Yes. Yeah, let's use Umayu. Let's use Umayu. Or let's use the prime Bilad. The prime Bilad. The Bilad that was at Mamelodi Sundowns. Biladi as a winger. He would go in. He would trap the ball on the air. You know, he would cut in. It's either he passed the ball or he tries to take a shot to the top corner. When was the last time Usaile has done it? And then mind you, he's a winger. He's a winger, guy. Usaile is bad. Like, I used to stand up for that guy, my brother. You know, I usually stand up for Usaile. Usaile is bad. He's bad. I think, why did we even leave out Nurgovic? Because when you put Usaile as a striker, he doesn't do anything. He's too fast. The ball is too fast for him. Sometimes he's too fast for the ball. He can't even. Yo, my brother. It's shambles at Kaizer Chiefs.
Let me bring in Prampo. Hey, you were with me yesterday when we were watching this game. Hi. Are we just going to see the same things over and over? And also, welcome to the show.
Dumelang Makhosi, Robila Robalepila. This will be our gospel for 36. How many games? How many games?
The 30 games and then maybe 36 altogether.
Yeah. The challenge is that suppose they are more serious born than the players. That's the problem. We are more serious more than the players. Or let's think if we can analyze the game. I'll repeat the coach of Chippa United. That guy is somebody else but like paperwork as an administrator. You beat people that they call themselves coaches with they got the badges. That's badge that count anymore. Doesn't count. Just the person tell you the whole week. He said, you know what? Go to close the wings, you are done with Chiefs.
Yeah.
And they did exactly that.
Yeah.
He closed the wings. Chiefs, there were nowhere to be found. And again, I still repeat, if the head coach doesn't have mentality of winning, you're never gonna win anything. Arthur, as a coach from development, did he ever win anything? He doesn't know how to win as a coach. Dylan Shepherd, he ever win anything under development? Nothing. Ntseki, somebody else who said it was senior national coach of Bafana Fan. That means the pinnacle of all local coaches. If you coach Bafana Fan, you have to be a hot potato. Every team they want you. You understand? And again, Ntseki, he was there for Chiefs 3 years. What did he implement that the past 3 years? Now the Karame point out as a supporter, you start blaming players because those players they are playing out of positions.
Yeah.
Sahili. What is the position that Sahili? When they send Sahili?
Might take a striker. Might take a strike.
That is not a strike. This is attacking midfield. You always see like something that you have to notice. When he cut from after a center line. You can't say cut there. You have to at least cut close to the opponent goals. And that guy, the way he's right, he's trying to do more than that he can chew. Because it's trying, that guy's trying, but that he's trying. He's been playing out of position. You find out as a striker, scored as a striker, but you find out, at the back line, try to collect balls. When you get there, already tired. Chelsea, we don't have a plan B. Don't have a plan B. The moment the team does, when you close, okay, if, like, you'll be surprised. You said something else. You take wingers, you understand? The one that they were supposed to cross the ball to Chapavairo. You understand? You play with the player that the player that they play 1-2. You play with a target man. You take out target man. You brought the players that they cross the balls.
They cross the ball.
Something that you are watching different soccer here. Because it's like they're doing vice versa. Why do you have that target man, but you can't give that target man, that guy is a box player.
Yeah.
That means you have to give somebody, give me a ping pong, just drop the ball in the 18 area. You got to trap it, give me, attacking midfield. But you give him over Kaizer, this guy. They play short passes. You take them, you put them on Tanzania. The one that they cross the ball. When they cross, no one's going to get the ball. You see that Nike, we are questioning the different game altogether. The way we play, I don't see Chiefs we are going anywhere. We are not going anywhere. The only way that's going to happen now, what they did, Kaizer Chiefs management, because the support they were starting fighting with the Arthur, you understand? Starting, to be look at the stadium. They said, okay, let's put it in Tsek as a head coach.
Let's
and remember, Arthur and Dylan Shepherd, they still have a say, because when they see as a technical team, they said, okay, use this one. The same players as they were using. Now it's going to face the supporters and the media in Tsek. Like, if you are serious, want to be a man in charge, you are supposed to, let's go to development. You have to have got his own team. You still remember when I said something about, conditional player?
Yeah.
You still, I said that guy is contributing a lot to the Chiefs. Every time all Chiefs players, they're always injured. What is that they are doing there? Chiefs, like, I'm telling you, Ntseki is not going to complete 10 games. Believe me.
And I like what you're talking about. Before I go to Senzo, I like what you're talking about, because for me, you know what's funny? This past weekend, I watched Sehoana. We were told that he's bad and, he doesn't know what, all of the bad things that were said about Sehoana. And I watched Sehoana after 2 days, because I think he signed on Thursday. After 2 days with Coach Barker, he came on versus E Pirates. And I saw Sehoana disciplined, positionally he was great. And I thought to myself, this is Chiefs, man. Chiefs is the problem here.
Yes, what you are saying, the things that, that they sort of say professional players, you understand? When like there's something that, you got some technical team, you understand? That they analyze players. When you buy this player, what are you buying this player for? What position? You can't play like Ngobo, the one that, was player of the season, defender of the season. Now it's a flop. It's a flop. It's a Chiefs. What is wrong with the Chiefs? All the players that Chiefs they are buying. Let's be honest. Chiefs they are playing good players. What is happening in Chiefs? All the players that they are buying, honestly speaking, they are buying good players. But when they get to Chiefs, they are flop.
Hey, let me bring in Senzo. Senzo, welcome to the show, my brother.
What's up, OT, and what's up to the panel?
Hey man, we're talking about a heavy thing, and the Sehoana thing really gets to me, because he got 2 days of coaching and he was already a better winger. What's going on at Kaizer Chiefs? Because we're seeing the same old problems repeating themselves over and over again.
Like I've said before, the mistakes Chiefs is making isn't they don't have quality. Chiefs has quality that's enough to make them a top 3 team, top 5 team. They could easily, fight Sundowns. But Chiefs' problem is that they don't have a coach, because mistakes that we are making are mistakes that are coachable. The tactics that we're implementing, it shows that there's a person who doesn't know tactical awareness. I'm all for Given and Tikotla given a start and Castillo given a start. I'm all for that, but you don't build a team, especially with the most crucial place as a defense with new players. By defense, you should be already having established. The team should have a spine. When you sign according to the spine to strengthen the body. You don't change the whole spine. Kaizer Chiefs right now has signed new defenders, has signed new midfielders, has signed new striker. Are you telling me from last year everything was broken? You're telling me the one position that you didn't feel that needed improving was goalkeeper. It just shows that the coaches, I even feel bad for calling them coaches. I don't think they deserve that name. But the coaches that we have do not know how to coach players, because like you're saying, Sehoana was with a good coach for 2 days and he knew how he would play. He knew what was needed from him. So what is happening at Chiefs is that the players don't know what to do. They don't have anyone coaching them. So when you have players that don't know what to do, then everyone wants to overdo what they need to do. You find Mduduzi over dribbling, you find Sahili over dribbling, because they don't have instructions, but they want to show their talent or try to prove themselves. And sometimes you need to tell a player that, you know what, we have a player to do that when I only do the important stuff, because we don't need both wingers dribbling and cutting inside. We don't need that. We don't need all our midfielders taking long balls, and we don't need that. So sometimes it's one of those things that is coachable mistakes, where you tell Shabalala, okay, I want to implement you on the left wing, but I don't need you as far as the midfield at the halfway line. When you cut in, don't cut in every time you get the ball. Sometimes open the pitch up. You're playing with the target. Those are things you coach during training. You say, hey, do this, don't do this, do this, do this. Because that's when players will start understanding, okay, this person demands this of me or wants this from me. So at Chiefs, you can see that there is no coaching done. At the end of the day, it's finder. And that's what's happening. They keep rotating the squad to find that gel, that mix. Because unfortunately, South African football, you can have a run where you win games, not knowing how. Zwane went through that, where he was winning and people were like, yeah, Chiefs. But we didn't know how we won. We were just winning games. And I think that's a very dangerous thing. That's why it's a pity I couldn't join yesterday when you guys were talking about Pirates. But Pirates lost, but Pirates played absolutely amazing. If anyone was watching the game proper, you will see that Pirates is going for the league, if not top 2. They were challenging,
but even besides that, like
what we saw from Chiefs is that
even besides that, it's one of the things where I watched Sundowns and I watched Pirates, and I could tell you exactly what they were doing. You get what I mean? Like I could tell you, Ndlondlo's dropping in to come and collect the ball. He's gonna allow his 2 wingers to drag. You can tell what's happening on the pitch. I feel like at Chiefs, I can't even tell you what a passage of play looks like there.
Because we don't have what does our coach do best? What is our coach good at? What is we don't know what Motsepe plays. We don't know what Motsepe likes to play. We don't know what type of football Motsepe. That's why what saddens me is that, I might sound like a pessimist or not a good guy, but I was saying when he got hired, Motsepe out. Because Motsepe he will give us nothing. But the only thing that he's going to do is going to demoralize the players. How do you sign a striker saying he's going to be a striker, and then you sign a striker next year, and then you sign a striker next year, and then you sign a striker? And then you're expecting the morale of the players to go up. How are you expecting a boy like Zwane, who was hailed last year as the next big thing. Then you sign Castillo. No offense to Castillo, but you sign Castillo. Here's Mdu Shabalala playing absolutely amazing football. Then you sign Mdantsane to play the same position. What are you doing to the boy? What are you doing to the boy? I think we've seen it, what happened to Mashia. And Mashia came on like a house on fire, was tearing it up in the MDC. He was our next best winger. And unbelievably, he's probably got the best left foot in South Africa. That boy can cross better than Hlanti can. But what the Chiefs do? Buy Hlanti.
Buy Dove.
Replace the boy. Then you demoralize. You buy Dove. You demoralize the players. If you saw Zwane yesterday sitting on the bench, you could see what, as in, we've lost him. Like you've lost him, and that's the team is there. That's why I'm saying the quality is there. The problem is that we don't have a coach, and if we had a coach, he'd be able to lead us, even if we're not a good team. And just to close off, a good example, Sir Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson has won the league for Manchester with teams that we didn't. Abo Chechirito, Abo Nani, those weren't ballers. Abo Ryan, they weren't ballers. Abo Carrick, they weren't ballers. But when Sir Alex Ferguson puts you down and says, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know what you're trying to do, what we're going to do, and what we're aiming to do. So with Chiefs, no one knows what's happening. We are all going to training, but we don't know if we're trying to play. We don't know. We're just coming to work. We're just coming to work.
Okay. Hey, Agent 007, I just want to quickly, I know you're a Sundowns fan, so I guess you guys live in a different reality to us. I think looking forward, and when we look at this team, what can Chiefs do in order to have us get better with the squad that we have now, in your eyes?
Whew, that's a difficult question, That's a very difficult question. And I think it can be answered in two ways, short term and long term.
Okay.
Long term, I think it was someone on the live stream, I can't remember who it was saying, some fans out there, some clubs out there, we have what we call ultra fans in Europe. Those are what we call core supporters. Sometimes a team sits down with its fans and hear from fans. AC Milan did it. That's my team. Did it when he lost against Inter. Just to listen to them. And I think, like I said, the problem of Chiefs long term to be solved, it needs to be solved outside the pitch. And I just mentioned the technical team, and even if you look at the management structure, like it's a family business. Bobby was right, Bobby was right. It's a family business, and even if it was UOT, and you had a business, you would employ your own kids. There's nothing wrong with it. My only
but
worry
after 9 years of no trophies,
here's my worry. Why not put your kids in board of directors and board of what, and leave the football thing to the football people, I have a problem with being led, by someone who doesn't know the job, and Motaung Junior has a degree or something in a qualification in commerce. Jessica has a qualification in marketing. Is it who's the small girl again? The other one. The youngest.
Gemiso.
Also a qualification in industrial psychology. Those are not football people. How can you be led by people who are not football people? And look at Sundowns. Like Sundowns is a benchmark that even the president himself, the chairman, saw that I can't lead well when I don't have the football knowledge. He took his time off and did a CAF license. He doesn't want to be the coach. He doesn't want to be a Jomosolo, but he needs to have an understanding of the game so that, when Chief says we need a striker, he can say, but man, we don't need a striker. We need a midfielder. We need a creative midfielder, How about that? Like can have an open discussion, And how can you have a sporting director who has no knowledge of scouting, development, and anything? The only football experience is he was a player. But a player does not necessarily mean a sporting director.
Yeah.
And you look at Sundowns, a Flaming, you know, what his numerous positions in development. You know, that's where the problem of Chiefs comes from. And long term, you know, you can win a trophy, you can win a league here and there, but for you to be consistent, you must build a football structure and move away from a company structure.
Okay.
And in the short term, I think Chiefs needs to be decisive. What do you want to play? You know, because I think with the players that Chiefs have, they can play 2 or 3 styles and they can grind out the results. You know, you guys have comfortable center backs, you know, who can play the ball, and a Frostler who is a very good fullback, you know. And now we can see that we have a Castillo who can spread the passes, you know. So we can have a team. The midfield is good, you know, and you can play without a striker. Like, you know, sometimes before Eshalulile Sundowns, we used to have goals all around the pitch. You know, you wouldn't even notice that we have a Castro here or you have a one, because goals was all over spread across the field. You know, or look at Manchester United. Last season, it had no striker. Rashford is a winger, but because the goals are spread around, it reduces deficiency and the pressure on the striker. You know, so Chiefs has a good at taking options. You know, so if you guys want to play with speed, decide, okay, fine, we want to be a counter-attacking team. You know, and in as much as you guys are saying Saile is a horrible player, I think he's an average player, you know, who needs to be coached. And imagine having a Saile and a Dupreez, you know. The thing is, you have to coach players. There's a drill which Sundowns does all the time before games. A cross from the wing is skipped by a player, and the other player finishes. You know, you need to drill that into a Saile. Saile, when you get the ball, you don't just run. You know, you have to cut in between the box. You know, make a square pass, make something. You know, and with a Dupreez also. You know, tell him the same thing, because Dupreez and Saile suffer from the same illness of they have too much speed. And when you have too much speed, you don't have a football brain. You know, so you need to train that football brain. And like I said, Chiefs can be a good team looking at the players that they have. They just have to decide you want to play long balls, Javili football, a speed football, or play a carpet football, because the players that you guys have can play all the systems. Yeah.
Okay. Let me bring to Hendrik. Hendrik, surely there's things we can do to fix this with this team that we have. What can we do? You know, the Sehoana thing gave me so much hope. It took 2 days of Sehoana being with Upaka for him to become so composed, even defensively and all of that stuff. Surely then there are things we can do in the team, with the team that we have, that can help us. What can we change?
My guy, Vegalapong, my guy, Sehoana was a player, bruh. Was a gem. I don't know why we let go of Sehoana, or maybe it's because maybe they still want to talk to Billiard. We are not quite sure about it, because it looks like they still want to check for dollar bills for Kama Billiard. So I don't know. So, but Sehoana, we've lost the player. People will see it now. When you just said it only took you 1 game for you to realize, oh, damn it, this guy was good. He was good. That's the reason why we signed him first. Now, another problem is this, my brother. I think the technical team overall as a whole, and then whether we like it or not, unfortunately, Kaizer Chiefs is controlled. Like, the coaches are controlled.
Yeah.
That's why I normally say that Unabi, the coach that was supposed to come at Kaizer Chiefs, he went there, he told them what he wants, and then they refused. Because why? They did not power over him. They did not have power over him. You see, we are signing this striker now, my brother, from Gonzalez Swanban. We are signing Gonzalez. No? Yes, we signing Gonzalez. It's fine on a loan. Chiefs is gonna make him look like a Kingston in Carter from Wish Baba. Like, Chiefs is gonna make him look bad. Like, we've got players here. We've got decent players. Take us Utambazwani, put him in that team, is gonna be bad. Why? Because we don't know what the hell we play. Like, as a coach, my brother, go to Google and Google Pep Guardiola, and go to Google and say Pep Guardiola's statistics, Jurgen Klopp statistics. It will tell you, or this person in defense, he plays gen pressing for Jurgen Klopp. When you go to Jurgen Klopp, you say Jurgen Klopp. On defense, it says that Gengen pressing, right? It means he presses immediately after he loses the ball. That's Jurgen Klopp's style of playing when he's defending, right? On attacking, they tell you fast counter, long balls, like they will tell you, even they will even describe that he normally makes sure that his wingers are out wide so that these midfielders can pass the ball either in the air or down below. You understand? But go and Google Undwani normal offensive. Nobody knows about their tactics. Even if you can Google Pitso now, it will tell you what sort of football Pitso is playing and what sort of football Pitso was playing with someone. But manje, go and Google Uzwane normal offensive. Nothing. They will just say current Kaizer Chiefs head coach. Pelile kanjalo. Understand? That's the problem. We don't know what we're playing. I once said to you that what is this do football, helicopter football that we are playing? It's our new culture because we don't want to employ coaches that will play carpet football like what we used to. And I said, what if this culture, this football that we are playing now, it's our new culture? And then if it's our new culture, why don't we buy players like, for example, give you an example, a player like Abu, with the same criteria as our Nathan Pauls, the strikers that will jump and and head the ball. Why won't we buy strikers like that? We're busy buying short strikers, but we want to play doof doof doof. We buy a long striker, but we don't supply him. You always supply with who? We always supply with Utlanti. Always there. Playing like Robertson of South Africa. But no, he can't even cross the ball. Let that guy do his thing. Let him go, and then after Lemo midfielding, let him go there and then stay in the midfield, get balls quicker to the wings. You understand? And play something else. Because now we don't know what we are playing. My brother, that game was playing boring. It was boring. Nothing was happening. That guy was positioning himself right. The new striker was putting himself into good positions, but the ball did not get there. The fact that our midfielder, Castillo, every time when he received the ball from the midfield, he had to at least dribble two players and then pass the ball back. It should tell you a lot, my brother. It should tell you that where are our wingers to open up space for Castillo so that he can pass the ball to them. And then one thing that I've noticed, our wingers, it's either they receive the ball far or closer to the defense.
Yeah.
Like I saw this ball that was played to Isaili. It was played. You know what Isaili did? He was jogging towards the ball because you could see the other opponent defender was right there. And when he got the ball, it looks like he wanted to take one-on-one with that defender. And I said, what the hell is going on? Get the ball faster, make the defender chase you, but you're not doing it. These balls, when they are coming in, you find out that Usailu could have actually gotten that ball. We know he's got the pace. We could see that Usailu could have actually gotten that ball, but what does he do? He jogs. And then he crosses next to the goalpost. That box is filled with players inside. So now I think number one is this technical team, my brother. It's dead. We have nothing there. I think you and I and 007 could do a better job, my brother. Put us there. Give us Zwane's salary. We'll divide it.
Yeah, no,
my brother,
fine.
we can do better.
Even if we can just one season. Yeah, anyway, sorry.
My brother, and listen now, my brother. Listen, boy. We've got defense now. I don't want to lie. We've got Msimingo, we've got Edmisel Dove. That guy is brilliant. I don't like people disrespecting him. Dove is perfect. And then we also got Odikloko. Perfect, guys. We've got players. In the midfield, we've got Castillo. I saw him. He's a brilliant player. We also got Mduduzi, brilliant player. We also got Understand? So give these guys a type of football you want them to play, because I refuse to believe that if you can say to Mduduzi, say Mduduzi, you see where each time you receive the ball, make sure that you watch where our striker is, or you assess the winger. I don't believe that if you tell him that he's gonna go, like, he's not gonna listen to you, my brother. He's gonna listen to you. One thing that I can say. So it means something is done wrong. My brother, we've got wingers, but we don't play our wingers. Let's abuse our wingers, my brother. Sometimes don't let your wingers be wingers. Get your midfield to act as a winger, and then your winger will run behind the defense. Pass the ball there. We've got Castillo, they can pass. Why are we not doing that? Technical team, my brother. That's one thing that I can tell. The technical team is the problem at this moment. And one thing that I want to, before I finish up, one thing that I see, my brother, is this: Kaizer Chiefs are somehow. Next season they have the players, they don't get the coach, they get the coach, they don't have the players. That's the reason. And then unfortunately you can't do a cabinet reshuffle and then leave some other breadcrumbs behind. Like even when you change oil, my brother, you must make sure that your car does not have that old oil. But when now you want to change the oil halfway and then you put in the new oil, that's not gonna happen, my brother. That's not gonna
No.
happen.
No, I hear you. Propo, what can we do to make this better, man? Surely there's something we can do that can change Kaizer Chiefs with this squad that we have. I've never thought that the squad was the issue. What can we do to play better?
Okay, you know how to only to play better. Take Kante out, Dove
Okay.
in. Take Marty out, Yusuf. Put Sam Galejwan in. You will see something there. There is something that, Kante. Did you notice that when he's supposed to cross the ball, he go back?
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
doesn't play forward.
going.
And Stebe and Kante, they are playing similar. They don't give you option. And I told you, Chiefs, that's why you said that we got the best defense now. We defend much better. Because remember, we're playing the flat four. And that flat four is a priority to our midfield. If our wings, they push, you know what you are doing? You're oppressing your opponent. Now, if you're oppressing your opponent, they tend to make mistake.
Yeah.
Now our defense, they just pass ball themselves in the circle and they don't attack. And you know what they do? They absorb the pressure. When they hit you on one or counter attack.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like if they can take Marte, Yusuf, bench, Kante, bench, Dove, in, Samgel, in. Samgel, you know what you do, Samgel? You play in front of the defense.
Yeah.
Because that boy, he can pass the ball. And he shoot the ball. You can't take the ball from that boy. He's got a good eye. And Shabalala, you know what you do at front? You check that boy, you just move left and right. You don't have a specific, like first number 9. You don't have a specific 9. You play with the first number 9. But I can tell you, Wednesday, we're going to win 2-1.
Okay.
Sundowns, we're going to beat Sundowns. Believe me. We're going to result one of my Sundowns.
Yeah.
Noma kanjani?
No, thank you, Propo. Let me bring it to Senzo. Lastly, what can we do to make the best of this squad? I don't believe this is a bad squad.
It's definitely not a bad squad. I think the only logical thing to do is get Nteki out. There is no better way to say it, because you have players that have been in the PSL for a long time, that have been at top of their game for a long time in the PSL, players that have experience playing in this league, players who have, they know how to show up, and they showed us in the game against Rollers. And last year they showed up when they kept the team in a respectable position, even though they weren't playing very well. So forget to say that we don't have the players or we need to sign any more players. Let's give, maybe Saili is not a bad player, but he's just not put in the right position, like Agent 007 was saying. Maybe Saili is a second striker. Maybe he's a false 9. Maybe him coming with runs from deep in the midfield, it can uneasy players. Maybe that is what we need to do. No, Shabalala is a better. Maybe if we have a coach who will look at a player, look at what Pitso does. Just because you're a winger, Pitso could take you and put you at the right back. So at Chiefs, you will never see that happen, because a coach doesn't know how to identify and see what a player's best position is. I've said it a lot of times. Mosimane is not a left back. He's a horrible defender. But when it comes to the wing, he plays it so well because he gives you that cross. So when he's forward, you don't need to worry about defending. And even in the MTC, he was playing in the higher position. So what made him come to the development and play behind just shows that the coaches don't know what they're talking about. And last year, Zwane tried to take Ngobo and put him in the midfield as a holding defender. And you're like, I don't care his defender, but this man is not disciplined. He wants to overhaul the ball. When you have a defensive midfielder, you need someone to spread the passes. You look at Busquets, 1-2 touch, turn the player, pass. Perlo want to play their player. So it's those things that you need to coach. So I don't see Ntseki being able to coach. I don't see Ntseki being able to tell Matt or Castillo that, okay, guys, listen, play closer to each other. Castillo's good at beating players close. Mart, he'll open space for you. Mart, you have a chance to either hit the ball far or you can low ball, give us variations, make the players that they have depth in their play. So I don't see Ntseki doing that. So to say, what can we do to improve? We can buy players we can even buy the ones you want, your Kapingas, your the striker that we can even buy them. But like you say, if there isn't coaching, no one's going to do well. Mina, my last closing would be, if Chiefs really are saying they need a striker, we're going too far. We're really going too far. The best player to suit Chiefs right now, and the panel, everyone is free to disagree with me if they want, but the best player for Chiefs right now to play that striking position is Kutumela from Sundowns. He's out of favor. He's had experience playing in the CAF. He's had experience playing against the best in Africa, not even just in South Africa. He's played for the big teams.
Yeah.
He's 30 years old. He's got the pace, so he can run as the false nine. He can play on the wing, can play as attacking midfielder. He's done it for Moroka. He's done it. Well, he didn't do it for Pirates. Hasn't done it for Sundowns, but the caliber is there. Maybe given a role where he becomes the star player, he can show the type of form he showed back at Baroka. So, yeah, for me, if Chiefs is looking to sign any player right now, would be Kutumela. If it's not Kutumela, there's no way you're getting Hobla. There's no way you're getting Gift Matupa. So, yeah, not this guy. We don't know.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Thank you so much, Senzo. Hendrik, I'm just rotating the room a little bit. Let me let in some new guys so that I also want to hear in this last 40 or so minutes. Black Butterfly, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother?
Excellent, guys. How's it?
I have this thing, man. I have this thing where I've been listening to the coaches talk, and I heard Mamilla come with a plan that they executed to a degree. I heard Steve Barker break down a game and tell us exactly why he did this with Pirates and whatever. Why don't we see those type of things at Kaizer Chiefs where there's changes, they're trying different things, or if they see something's not working, they make the change? Why is it that we fans can see it, but they can't? It doesn't seem as though they know what they're doing.
I think it's because we don't have a proper plan. Actually, we just go and, okay, this is the plan for the day. There's no sight to say, okay, how are we going to change the style of play or whatever. One thing that you guys mustn't also forget, because yes, as much as we're saying Kaizer Chiefs, we on Kaizer Chiefs for playing bad, and from my point of view, the way I looked at that game, Chippa's defense was stubborn, guys. They closed us down in time. They were certain, they knew we're going to try to play to Saile, we're going to play to the wings, and then automatically they closed those spaces down. Any ball, we couldn't play the ball on the ground from midfield. So what happens now? They try to build from the back, where you find, especially, what's his name, Castillo, right? Even Matt, they were playing basically on top of the defenders at the back.
Yeah.
So what happens? They get the ball, pass it around just before the circle. Then what happens? It goes back to the goalkeeper. The minute it goes back to the goalkeeper, the only thing he's going to do is kick it forward. And that's where that stop and corner football is coming from. What I've noticed with Castillo is that guy, when he passes 2 feet. No matter how close you are, no matter how far you are, that guy's passing is brilliant. But now you find that the players around him cannot play one-touch football. We have to always, and that's why when we do see that one-touch football, we get excited, because there's only so many glimpses in the game where it's actually happening and it's working. So clearly that's something that we need to work on, to say, let's stop this. Let's try and play that one-touch football, but it needs to be one-touch. Until some of our players can't even do a one-touch pass. We can pass each other nicely there in the midfield. Why can't we do the same when we get closer to the box? Then we can't even pass each other. Once we pass the circle, we must forget. We're just going to kick the ball over, goes to the defenders. And then another thing, we look at the style of play. We can't, what we can analyze, as I said, I don't know why the coaches can't see it, is that when you play Saile there in that position, you're limiting Reece Frosler. He can't overlap because now he's bumping into Caleb. Caleb, even when he gets the ball, he's not going to, Frosler's not going to get a return pass from him. He's going to run around. And what happens? He's greedy now also because he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to play on the wing but still score instead of supplying. So that's where we lacking. So I'm saying now, if you look at that style of play, we're playing on top of each other. Our
Yeah.
players don't have space. That's why it looks like we all over the show. We pass here for a while, cross the ball or kick it forward there. Defenders, the wings have to run onto the ball, but then there's nothing happening in the midfield. So what I've noticed is, and why do you think Caleb actually went to the wing now? Something
Oh,
I've
Saile,
noticed
yeah.
Saile, sorry. The guy, I think it was mentioned on the show last week or something like that, where we said, no, Saile, he's best suited there, on the right. How come now, after we decided to speak about it, next game he's playing in that position? So I'm convinced he reads media, he reads people's comments, and then he just implements everything one time, and then it's not working. Yes, he found the right place for you.
I think the question that I have is then what scares me, and I think it's also players and coaches. What scares me is that Ntseki is meant to be a coach that has been coaching for a long time. Yes, not in the PSL, but he's got experience. He's got the badges. Abozwane have the badges. They've been assistants for a while. They've been head coaches, DDC. If a guy who was CEO last year and decided to go to the coaching side can bring a plan and actually work a plan, isn't that a bit scary if we can't, as Chiefs, as the people that have been there for however many years, Ntseki 3 years, Zwane 3 years, they can't even implement a plan?
They can't read a game. That's the problem.
That's what's shocking me here.
That's why I'm saying don't take anything away from Chippa, because they implemented their plan. Their defense was stubborn. They knew when to create chances, but they knew these guys they're gonna kick it to the goalkeeper, so he could read the game. And now Chiefs, you don't know sometimes, do they know how to press? Because you can see they were probably told to press at times.
Yeah.
But now you see, do they actually understand that? Have they practiced pressing in a game? Because even pressing is not just you press. If you look at Man City, Liverpool, whoever, when they press, they know when to press. They do it as a collective. Now you find this one is pressing alone, then this one is pressing, and then next best thing, our players are tired now.
Okay, let me bring in Mtupe. Mtupe, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
How are you, my brother?
Hey. Hey. Please tell me. I made the example Steve Barker. He broke down, he saw Pirates, he broke down, okay, we did this, and because Pirates was playing like this overseas, we chose to do this with our team. Morgan Mamilla broke down Chiefs during the week and said, you know what, this week we're doing this, and we saw Chiefs like to do this, so we're going to close down the wings. And, I'm worried that I heard Ntseki, for example, speaking after the match, the clip I played in the beginning, and man, it just sounds like English, but no plan. Why don't our coaches have plans? Why can't a team like Kaizer Chiefs have a plan and they're beaten by a guy who was CEO just last year?
First thing a problem we have, it's our management, arrogance. They are riding a publicity wave. They know if they've got some controversy in the team, we'll talk about it, and they'll get that man, they'll get free publicity. That's a problem. We're just a team which just goes for a brand only, not for football. Secondly, that arrogance goes down to the coaches, because whatever they do, nobody hold them accountable with it.
Yeah.
Goes down to the players again. Players, they know we're gonna go and play, then we're gonna come back. Nobody will gonna come and shout at us for anything. Because even last year, I was worried that are we going for in the training for what?
Yeah.
Most of the time, players they play like they're their first time coming to the ground. So like it's like bayazenzela nje.
Yeah.
Ucabanga ukushona esayidini uyela esayidini.
Mm.
And I was always asking myself why Sehoana plays like he plays because Uzwane was a winger, Shepard was a winger.
Yeah.
They're supposed to coach him. No, if you're a winger, you play like him. So you see that there's nobody who cares about what you are doing. Then which goes maybe if they can get maybe another coach and maybe change the management, then that's why you're gonna see Kaizer Chiefs going back to be a Kaizer Chiefs that we know. It's like instead of not caring, started after they appointed to Pope. That's the thing that started. Then till now, so
Kaizer
Junior.
Junior, yeah.
So now you see Uguchi is only doing what he thinks for him is good. If Zochi a special player like Uchai, you wanted him at his prime, but you see what he can do in a team, like for the young player like Zwane, who can learn a lot from a player like Uchai. So you see,
Yeah.
there's that mentality of they don't care. They just want to stick. If ungenze kabi ngizokwenza kabi nami. So that mentality which we have in with Chiefs, it's killing the game
Yeah.
for everything. So I think if they can start by Unsegi nje, I don't think even he knows even himself some positions. I don't even he thinks some players can which positions have to play. Like Shabalala, you can't play Shabalala or like wide. If we have umuntu ofana no you have to take Potan, even if okay, maybe you can try him on the left, then you see okay, it doesn't work, you change him to the right position. Like you have Mashian can play on the left or on that position. Why don't you take him in than because that's what's gonna kill that boy. You put him in a position where he doesn't see what he can do, then vele morally yakhe izoba phansi ukuthi uzoyibona ngathi ayikho into ayenzayo ethimini. That's what kills Mashian, that's what kills Mato, that's what kills almost all the players. Like not Chiefs ukuthi inabadlali ababhedayo.
Yeah.
But coaching.
That's why ngithi i-question yami ngabona like le yaka Shabalala playing on the wing. Sibonile simbone nini? I think it was Rollers or Tanzania where he
Rollers
played there. And sibonile ukuthi it's not working. But again, akunamuntu lapha eKaizer Chiefs, an analyst, assistant coach, a kit manager, someone who goes to Abonseki and says, guys, we saw this thing didn't work. Masienza 2 weeks ago. Why then do we carry on doing it? And then Masibona, during the match that maybe we thought it was going to be different, some faga, some misangali. But now we see something's not working, but as change. What's going on, man? I mean, I'm still struggling to understand. Guti, Abo Coach Betu, don't they see the games that we see? Watch the games that we watch.
In that, I don't think we even have a video analyst or something. Because like, if you have a video analyst, you're gonna say, no, this one's not good for that position. Let's take him out. Like the last game that played, but was playing. No, Mahlatsi was playing on the left.
On the left, yeah.
He played almost first half, and you come back on the second half. But you saw the boy was drowning in that position. Was giving us nothing. But they still put him there until maybe 68th minute, if I'm not mistaken. If you are playing a friendly, you try different combinations. Then you take a player that you see, no, this one because if and if Castillo, want to can play more in the middle.
Yeah.
Because there's someone who's gonna be able to come nearer to him than into Bulala, Khoza, Mart no Sithebe bebesuka kakhulu kumntu. So they can't like combination play. Then sekunomuntu okumele ngabe uyadlala adlala kuleyo position. You take
Yes.
him far from that person. Then which means like angazi noma mhlawumbe because Khoza even i-formation esiyidlalayo wants us to play combination play.
Yes.
Want us to not to, you don't need a skillful players, just one touch football. Then we're gonna see the results. So nje uNtseki uzwane yabona ke angiphathi Shepherd. Shepherd, I don't even know what is his job there, or just to put instructions kuphela, because these two almost mina kube kuthiwa kuyangami ngabe mhlawumbe balanda umuntu they leave uNtseki, these two maybe they go somewhere mhlawumbe bafuna uDent abuye akazohlala lapha ebhentshini noNtseki mhlawumbe they be able to cook out something, because I know there's somebody who knows how to play football. Those players are all they're gonna be stars.
Okay. I think Uzweli, welcome to the show.
Hello, Butom Gunja.
No, hey, ngiyakhala. Hey. The question I want to ask you now is, like I said, siyawabona lama coach abanye. Steve Barker broke down his plan. Mamilla broke down his plan. They told us, good, masingena kule match, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Ne? Why, Tina, at Kaizer Chiefs, with the experience that they say we have on the bench, and I want to that have been in these positions for years, why are we not seeing that? Even if, let's say, we don't have a style of play, but coming into a match, you watch Chippa for 10 minutes, then maybe you change some things. Why don't we even have that?
Yeah, but and I think Kaizer Chiefs, they have a lot of problem because even no matter we can buy players, we can buy a lot of strikers, we can put the blame on players. I think that thing is not gonna work because it's obviously Kaizer Chiefs, they need to get a coach from on board, because local coaches they don't know what they are doing there. Even if I can start from Komphela, the time they get to Komphela as a coach, it was clear, and then everyone they did see that local coaches is not working for Kaizer Chiefs.
Yeah,
they supposed to get a coach that is coming from on board. Like example, if you can see Pirates, they take Eric Tingler to be a coach of Pirates, and then they see that there's things that are not working there, and then they go and get a coach from on board, and then what the coach did there, get MTN8, and then another coach again that is coming from on board, and then get 2 cups. So it's obvious that Kaizer Chiefs is too big for local coaches. That is the first point. The second point is that Kaizer Chiefs Bobby, everyone that is they always saying to us that is a family business, but the Kaizer Chiefs, it's a lot of people, they love that team, and then they put their effort, they go to the stadiums, and then they always ask the demand to change coaches and players. But it seems Kaizer Chiefs management, they don't care about us, they don't care about the fans, because they're supposed to get someone on board that is gonna, even they're supposed to take Pitso. Pitso can do a lot of things there, not taking someone that they can control and then make the decision for the coach. Even Tsek is not gonna do well Kaizer Chiefs. I think also this season we're gonna be on drought. We almost now on the decade.
Yeah.
It's almost 10 years now, getting nothing. So I think Kaizer Chiefs, they need to get coach from overseas, and then so that they can make things better. because I can't say that I'm going to put blame on players. Yeah, there's some players that they're supposed to not to be there in Chiefs because Kaizer Chiefs is a big brand. But now I think they are making a big mistake. They are avoiding the fans. They know that it's a lot of things that is happening on Kaizer Chiefs. And then Tseki doesn't have a plan for Kaizer Chiefs.
Okay, no, I hear you, my brother. I hear you. I think what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at the time. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close. Let me just get my last. Let's say some last words. The scary part, guys, for me, the scary part about Kaizer Chiefs is sometimes there's simple decisions, right? Sometimes you don't have to do incredibly complicated things. You know, Mdu is a 10. Play Mdu at number 10. This player, you're lacking a winger or you've just signed a winger. Play the winger where the winger needs to go, right? Look at your squad. If you've got a starting lineup of ball players, play the ball, right? But it feels as though even those decisions are so hard to make at Kaizer Chiefs, right? And I'm going to keep making the same point about different coaches. Morgan Mamilla had a plan coming into Kaizer Chiefs. He told us what he was going to do, right? Steve Barker had a plan versus Pirates. He told us what he was going to do, right? And he told us why he was going to do it. Everybody who's been on the panel this tonight has told you Chiefs lacks here, Chiefs lacks here, Chiefs lacks here. And we all see it. But for some reason, no one wants to make the simple decision of just doing that. You look at transfers, right? Fine. You're not going to go get the most expensive stars from different players. Great. We understand that. We know what Kaizer Chiefs is. There's a free agent market, right? Capping us on the market. There's certain people that other teams have gotten. Andile Charlie was on the market, for example, right? And we couldn't even make those decisions. Not to say that the guys we've brought in are bad, but I'm saying that there's logical decisions that you can make and it makes sense, right? And that's what scares me about Kaizer Chiefs. It also feels like they've mastered the art of shutting us up. Kaizer Chiefs have mastered the art of shutting us up. Oh, Nikaleli striker. Not only are we going to bring in Chivavairo, then now we're going to loan some guy from Santa Cruz in Colombia, right? Oh, you guys are complaining about Sehoana. You know what? Let's move Sehoana away and then we'll sign Modi and Potan. You know? Oh, you guys are complaining about Atazwane. It's fine. We're going to move Atazwane from head coach and bring in Unseki. Even though that's not a change that made any difference really, but you know what? We're going to show you that we did something, you know, and they do moves like that to make us happy or to keep us happy. Oh, Nteki is a former Bafana coach. Oh, Atazwane is a legend of the club. He's a proper legend of the club. Oh, Dylan Shepherd has worked under Gavin Hunt and ban. And it's all things that look great on paper, but they're not done with any foresight behind why did we make this decision? Okay, did they sit down as Kaizer Chiefs and go, you know what, we want to play wing football. So let's look at the list of all the coaches and say, oh, he plays wing, this one plays wing, this one plays wing. Those are our three options to try get a coach. Right? When we speak about our players, is it something that is like, oh, did we say, okay, the style of football we want to play is to put the ball on the ground. Who are the 4 players that put the ball on the ground the best? And then we go and get those guys. Because right now it's just scattered. It's scattered. Modi Potsani. But then at the same time you sign Castillo Mtanzani. At the same time, you bring in Chivavairo. Then you bring in a central defensive pairing, a new one, even though our defender of the year are sitting on the side, right? Can all of these players coincide? Are these players being signed because we have a plan for them? Or are they just being signed to say, you know what, guys, at the end of the day, we sign 7 players, we tick 7 players, we've done our job for the transfers, whether those transfers are good or not. That's why I'm like, it scares me that it seems as though Chiefs can't make the objectively simple decision. Can't just, like logically. Guys, half of us here, most of us here have been on, and even the guys that are on, and you can hear the thought process behind why we are doing something. Can you tell me why Abumteki, Abumtaung, and those people are making the actions that they're making? And let's get to the game. You see that something is wrong. It took us 10 minutes. If you were watching the watch along, the live watch along, it took us about 10, 15 minutes to realize what was going on, what was going wrong, what you can do to change it. Now you're telling me that nowhere in the courses that these guys did, in anything that they did, nobody thought to themselves, oh yeah, by the way, when you see that this team is defending like X, you reply with Y. I don't have coaching badges. People don't have coaching badges, but we know. We were predicting their subs before they made them. So all of that experience, you're telling me that none of them are seeing this. That's why I'm like, if really, as somebody's saying to you, think they're stupid, if really they're there for a reason and they know what they're doing, then it means that there's something happening behind the scenes that is stopping all of this from playing. There's something behind the scenes that is happening. Because guys, it can't be logic. Again, Mamilla was the CEO of Chippa. Yet we've got a former Bafana coach on the bench. We've got a well-experienced player and somebody who's been a coach now for 3 years. And they've got UEFA B licenses and UEFA what licenses. But you're going to be out-coached by that man. And no, I don't want to disrespect Morgan Mamilla, but you're going to be out-coached by him. Aye, guys. Like, let's be honest. Let's be honest. And now I watch the other teams. Because I do this, I watch more football, and I'm not even going to go overseas. Just here, I watched Pirates, and even though I disagreed with what Jose Rivero did, I understood what Jose Rivero was doing. And you could see that it was well drilled into them, and they kept doing it and kept doing it and kept doing it because they were coached to do that thing. I watched Steve Barker. You could tell that his team was not only coached on what to do, they were told that tactically you must look out for Pirates because they've been playing like this all preseason long. So I want you guys to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to do all of those things. You get what I mean? And they went out and they did it. I watched Sehoana one more time. Sehoana was literally at Stellenbosch for 2 days. And that was a tactically better performance. He was defending, not even going forward. It's Khoza, who everybody was complaining about. Went there for 2 days. And he could defend. He knew when to press. He knew when to push. He knew how to hold position. And I'm like, Kante, what are they teaching these guys over there that is not being taught at Kaizer Chiefs? A team that, as Bobby says, 53 years of experience. So I think that's what's shocking me most about Kaizer Chiefs, and it's a trend that's carrying on. Over and above the fact that, guys, as one of the guys on the panel said, we're going into 10 years. It's 9 years this year, I think. We're going into 10 years trophyless. And at this point, nobody has woken up to go, yes, we need to do something. I would have thought, me as a Chiefs fan, I would have thought 2016 when Sundowns got the star, we would have woken up and gone, there's no way Sundowns is going to lap us or overtake us. We need to wake up and do something, right? There's no way that we're going to go 3 years trophyless, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. There's no way that every single season we sign new players and we kill more players. Someone mentioned Castro. Castro Billiard. Dolly hasn't been playing the way the Dolly we know. Manyama, Jabulo Ngobo was defender of the season. Patrice was a player before he got to us. Sehoana was amazing before he got to us. Dube was one of the better defenders at Swallows. Like, we've had them. We've had them and we're cycling them. So we can't look at the players anymore. We can't look at the players anymore. So what is happening at a team as big as Kaizer Chiefs that we can't coach? We got 5 or 6 red cards last season. And even after number 3, Uata was still paralyzed, not knowing what change to make now that they've got a red card. I remember the game I always use is TS Galaxy. They got the red card immediately. C. Dramovic took out an attacker, put on a defender. His team got into position. Like, they were like, no, now we're defending. We understand. We've been drilled. We went to practice. They told us, Kuti, if we get a red card, I'm gonna do this. Tsepo, when you're an attacking winger or you're a striker and we get a red card, you're gonna go back and you're gonna play right back and you're gonna sit. And I want you to do this and do this and do this. Right? Great. You understand it. Tina, nothing's happening. You know? So that's why I'm like, I'm worried. You know, if this was year 1, I'd be fine. If this was year 2, I'd be fine. But we're going into 9 years now. And personally, my pride, watching Pirates take 2 trophies last season and going to the Champions League, my pride. Not even talking about Sundowns. Sundowns doing what Sundowns does. Supersport doing what Supersport does. With less resources. My pride as a Chiefs fan, as somebody who supported this team when we were winning everything, when we were making all of the right decisions. And also, I wanna speak to this comment that I'm seeing now, where it says, Kaizer Chiefs fans are a problem. Honestly, sometimes we need to support the team and just shut it. Why is my input the problem? Bobby's not listening to me. I expect Bobby to want to do better for the sake of Kaizer Chiefs. So now that fans are speaking out, you're seeing that it's a problem, and it's 9 years. 9 years. There's a kid who started grade 1 and is now in high school. Shutting it. Not questioning. Buying the kids. Doing everything. As fans, we've done everything we can to support this team. And at times you question. Do you know why you question? How many shots on target did we get yesterday? Where did we finish last season? How much did we spend? How many new players have we gotten? How many times are we going to blame a player, blame a coach? How many times are we going to do that before we actually start saying to the club, guys, do you have the best interest, our best interest, as fans, as the team, at heart? Or are you just telling us this and then you know that you're gonna sell out jerseys in England? You're gonna sell out jerseys in the country. Gonna smile. Hey, Gumnandi, guys, they were out here Saturday. They were out here, all of them, at an activation. Hey, we saw launches. We did all of that stuff. Only to get onto the pitch and see that. All right, guys. For the 9th year in a row. No, guys, I'm sorry. Trust the process, they say. Are we complaining about the 9 years or this season? Okay, what has changed for this season? If I'm still asking the same questions I asked 6 months ago, I could play back my videos from 6 months ago and it will be the same questions. What has changed? And Nunteki taking over, do you not have to hold? Do you not have to be accountable as the new coach of Kaizer Chiefs, whoever it is? You have to hold the fact that the team has been performing badly. The whole point why you're being changed is so that we can get better. You have to. understand what you're walking into. No disrespect, but you're not coaching TS Galaxy. There used to be standards at our team. So if we can't question when we see something logically going wrong, then what are we doing as fans? Because part of it is that we need to win. Guys, he's not one game in. VK, he's been 3 years at Kaizer Chiefs. 3 years. Look, here's my thing. Here's my thing. I would treat you as new if you are new. If I'm asking you to make me sushi and you're walking into the kitchen for the first time, I get you. But he knows where the cabinets are, where the salt is, where this is, where that is, where they keep the plates and all of that stuff. He was part of the decision making to why we put the plates up there and do this and do that. So I'm saying that that guy who's walking in must have high expectations. And at this point, after 9 years, you have to prove to me. Let's be honest. It's not about us auditioning. You have to prove to me that you are worthy of that. And trust me, if Mtseki goes on to be an amazing coach for us, I'll be the first one to swallow all my words, because at the end of the day, it's about the team doing well. It's not about hating or whatever. It's about the team doing well. If this team was number one and we're winning leagues, we year in, year out, or we're winning trophies year in, year out, or at the very least in the last 5 years, we'd won 2 trophies, nyana, you wouldn't hear this. But it's pent-up frustration also. So yeah, guys, anyway, it's 10 o'clock. Thank you guys for joining me. Follow if you haven't followed. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. If you do want to watch any of the lives over and see what people have been saying previously, they're on Facebook in full and on YouTube in full. So please also support me there by going there. So yeah, that's what this is about. We have conversations. It's not always about Chiefs. We spoke about Pirates and Sundowns yesterday, but also we're meant to speak about Banyana. I'll shift that to tomorrow. And then, of course, we also do watch-alongs for the matches. So please, guys, support me also on this channel too. Please support the content. Throw some likes to some of the things. I'm going to be finishing up. I'm going to be finishing up my series of the most points, the teams with the most points in the league in the PSL era, and also the most goals in the PSL era. So please do follow me. I will see you guys then tomorrow, 12:30. We'll reconvene again. So yeah, thank you guys for joining me. Check you.